What the frick is up, you guys? Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am gonna do a talkie video today. Sit down, chat with me, which I haven't done in a minute, but I had a very important topic that I think has changed the game for me. So I wanted to share a couple of these tips for you guys. Made a little list in my notes on my phone of a couple of things that have changed the game for me when it comes to my lifting. And if you guys have been watching my channel or know me, then you know that I have been lifting for about 6.5, 7 years now. And I think the point that I'm at with lifting, I could have gotten to in like 3 years if I knew these things. So I wanted to share them with you guys and kind of just speed along that journey for you and make it a little bit more streamlined, kind of tell you the things that I wish that I knew in the beginning. And maybe these are things you already know or things that you are trying to implement, but maybe you just need to hear them again. So let's get into it. First thing that I think is the most important and something that I really needed to hear was to find a workout split / schedule that works for you and that you can be consistent with. I think especially online, there is so much noise about this is the best workout split, this is most optimal, this is what's gonna get you a big booty and an hourglass figure and blah, blah, blah. And I think it just creates so much noise when really what you need to be thinking about is, does this get me to the results that I'm looking for? And is this something that I can be consistent with? Because just because it's the most optimal scientifically, if you are not able to be consistent with it and you are not able to constantly put that into practice week after week, then it's not optimal. What's optimal is what you can be consistent with. So for me, that has changed over time. And that is another point about this that I want to stress is what that schedule is, what that split is. That's most likely for like 99.9% of people that are watching this right now will change over time. You might have kids at some point in your life. You are probably almost definitely gonna change jobs at some point in your life, and that might come with a schedule change with your regular day-to-day. For me, I was a barista before. My shifts were at 4:30, 5:30, 6 a.m., stuff like that. There was no way in hell I was gonna get up at the ungodly hour required to be able to work out before work in the morning. But everything you hear is from like 9 to 5ers with their 5 to 9 before their 9 to 5 and working out before work and blah, blah, blah. If your shift starts at 5 a.m., like, no, I'm not working out before that, period, point blank. But I got off at like 1:30 p.m. So afternoon workouts for me were great for a long time. Now, on most days I work 8:30 to 4. So working out before work is feasible. I don't mind getting up at 6. Any earlier than that's a little too much, but getting up at 6 to get it in, don't mind that at all. So before work workouts work for me great now because by 4 p.m. when I get off, I just want to come home, chill for a little bit, and then make dinner with my boyfriend and have some quality time. So what works for you is gonna change over time, but for right now, find what that is and start working with that. I also think it's important to note as a perfectionist, and some of you who might also be a perfectionist who are watching this, you can get in your head and be like, oh, like I'm gonna try and find the most optimal workout split. Like I always was in my head being like, okay, what is the perfect workout split for me and workout schedule for me that is gonna be perfect forever? And it's like, what? Like so many factors go into what is the best workout split and workout schedule for you, and what that is never going to be the best one forever. It will change over time as your needs out of your workouts change. So that being said, what used to work for me was, like I said, in the afternoon workouts. And I also used to do upper lower split. So I would do 4 workouts a week, 2 upper body and 2 lower body. Then now what works for me now is 3 workouts a week that are full body, and I do them before work. Multiple reasons for that. I found that doing upper lower was just like harder to get back to when I kind of like fell off the wagon. Like I was like, oh wait, like is this supposed to be an upper body workout or a lower body workout? Or, oh, I skipped this day, so now I'm behind on my upper body workouts and I feel like I'm getting imbalanced and blah, blah, blah. Now doing full body is just like, if I wasn't able to get a workout in the day that I scheduled it, then the next day that I'm doing a workout is just full body. Like, it's pretty no brainer. And full body's been working for me now for a couple years. It's what I like. Different people like different splits. Push pull legs is a really popular split. The like bro split is a really popular split. I never did the bro split because personally, I love getting in activity in ways that are outside of the gym, going on runs, going on walks with my friends, going paddleboarding in Austin because Lady Bird Lake is gorgeous. I like getting in activity that's not just at the gym. And so I don't want that time at the gym to crowd those things out if I'm at the gym every single day. So 3 days is perfect for me. If you love the gym and that's your passion, maybe you want to do a 5-day split. Doesn't really matter. Again, what is right for you is what is right for you. So, second biggest tip that I literally wish that I did so much earlier. I think I could have so many more strength gains by now if I had been doing this, but things happen. You gotta learn things the hard way sometimes, is learning what going to failure actually feels like. So I mean, everybody starts working out with lighter weights. I started working out with lighter weights in my freaking bedroom in high school. That's like what lifting started as for me, and then moved into the garage and then moved to an actual gym, blah, blah, blah. But even when I got into an actual gym and had access to all of this like real equipment after having been like with just dumbbells and stuff like that in the garage and in my high school bedroom, I still didn't really know what going to failure felt like. And like, I would hear it from people online and talking about like, you want your reps to be 2 to 3 reps from failure for the best muscle growth and blah, blah, blah. 2 things about that. 1, I thought failure was just when it was really uncomfortable, which, I mean, if you're lifting at a challenging weight, almost all the reps should be uncomfortable. Just like going till it's uncomfortable, like, yeah, I mean, you're gonna lead to a little bit of growth, especially if you're new to it. Known in the community as like newbie gains, like when you start working out, pretty much no matter what you're doing, you are going to gain some semblance of muscle because you went from 0 to something. But after like a year, that kind of tapers off, and just like going till I was uncomfortable was leading me to seriously stalled progress. I cannot tell you how long I was trying to get my ability to do push-ups to increase. Like, I was seriously stuck at like 1 to 3 push-ups, like literally 1 to 3 push-ups for 3 years, something like that. Like, I just couldn't break past that plateau, and it was because it was multiple reasons. I was kind of using the wrong exercises to train for push-ups. And if you guys would like me to make a video about that and like what exercises actually started helping me to move to where I am now, where I can do foot elevated push-ups 4 reps and 4 sets, then let me know, because that was seriously really cool for me. But yeah, like I was stuck at being like the range of 1 to 3 push-ups for years because I didn't understand, 1, what exercises were actually going to get me to improve, but 2, and I think really the most important thing, I didn't understand like what going to failure truly was. I wasn't digging deep enough and wasn't like really scraping out that last rep. And once I started doing that, it seriously changed the game. I've made more progress in the past year with push-ups and pull-ups than I have in probably my entire lifting journey. I have seriously increased my weight on back squats, which I used for years. I didn't even do that exercise because I just felt like it sucked and was too uncomfortable and I didn't want to do it. And really leaning into that uncomfortability and digging deep, that is what's going to lead to that growth and lead to those strength gains. And I understand that's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to lift really heavy, but if you're working out and if you're doing strength training, everyone doing that wants to get stronger. Maybe you don't want to be the next freaking Iron Man or Iron Woman or whatever, but if you're lifting, you're doing it because you want to get stronger. And to get stronger and make the most of that is going to failure or near failure. But to get near failure, you have to understand what failure feels like. And obviously, disclaimer, do not go to failure until you have your form down. Getting the form right takes time, and it takes you getting the muscle memory of what correct form and safe form with this exercise feels like. So until that, don't even mess with that at all, because getting injured is not worth it, period. But once you got that down and you feel like you can safely do this exercise, getting to failure and getting close to failure, knowing what that truly feels like, because it doesn't just feel like getting uncomfortable. It feels like my body physically cannot do another rep of this. Once you learn what that feels like, the strength gains start happening so much faster. So I really encourage you, dip into that. If you have been lifting for a little bit and you know you've got your form down, your form is muscle memory, but you feel like you're kind of hitting a plateau with strength, start learning what failure feels like. My lifting journey kind of went like this. It was like newbie gains and then a complete plateau, probably not complete, but like pretty severe plateau for like a couple years of me just like repeating the same things. I will also say, sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked. I think the information I learned about like, oh, hypertrophy rep ranges actually held me back for a while, because I was like, oh, I learned 8 to 12 reps, like somewhere in that range is the best range for hypertrophy. So I took that as I'm gonna do 3 sets of 10 of every one of my exercises, every single workout, no matter what the weight was. And I think it really held me back from pushing myself. Instead of making the weight just a little bit heavier so that maybe I could only get out 8 reps or 7 reps or 6 reps, I was just keeping the weight at a comfortable place where the 10 was like, yeah, it was uncomfortable, but at 10, I wasn't failing. Truly, if I was going to failure or close to failure, it probably wouldn't have looked like 3 sets of 10. It maybe would have looked like the first set I did 11 because I could squeeze out 1 extra. And then maybe the second set I really could only get to 9. And then maybe the third set it was 8 or it was another 9. You know, like if I was truly pushing and getting out every single last rep I could, it probably wouldn't look like a neat 3 sets of 10. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's another thing is, yeah, focus on the rep range area you're supposed to be in, but don't be like, okay, 3 sets of 10, done with that exercise, time to move on. Like if you're just going through the motions, yeah, every workout is not going to necessarily be pushing to the absolute max. Some workouts are just going through the motions, and the consistency part of it is the most important part for some parts of it. But if none of your workouts are pushing, then that's a problem, and it's going to lead to stagnation in your results. Third tip I have is finding the exercises that are right for you and that you can do 3 things with. 1, proper form. Sometimes it takes a little bit for you to get the form right. For me, a couple exercises that have changed for me over time, I used to not like, or I used to feel like I couldn't do right, but then I got the form right, was glute medius kickbacks. They're like a favorite for me now, and barbell back squats. Both of those are things that I felt like I didn't do the form right at some point. Either I wasn't feeling how I was supposed to be feeling, wasn't feeling in the right spot, blah, blah, blah. But over time, I learned to do the form correctly, and now I love them. There are still exercises that I have that I feel like I can't get the form right, or I'm not feeling it in the right spot, and sometimes I circle back to those to see if I can tweak my form a little bit and maybe start incorporating them. But ultimately, I carve out time in my workouts for the exercises that I know are going to be effective for me and that I know I can push myself in safely. So finding what those exercises are for you, if you want, you can make a list on your phone. I've done that at some point and been like, lower body, upper body, and like list all the exercises I know that I like and that I can work with. It's also good because if you're at a busy gym, a busy commercial gym, maybe you're planning this one exercise and that machine is taken or that weight is taken. Okay, we can work around it. We've got exercises that we know work for us, and we're just gonna pivot a little bit and do that. Last thing I have for you that I think has maybe made the least impact in my workouts, but I do think is something important to focus on and to maybe dedicate a little bit of energy to finding out what is right for you, is pre-workout nutrition. So I've gone back and forth with this throughout the years, and I think what I needed at different times was different. But when I did like afternoon workouts, obviously I was not fasted, and usually I would just do it like an hour or 2 after I had had a meal, so I was fueled. Morning workouts, that's where it's a little bit more like you have to make a conscious decision. Am I going to do this workout fueled or fasted? I've done them fasted and it was fine. I find for me, for cardio, I prefer fasted workouts. It makes me feel just lighter on my feet. Maybe if I do have something, it'll be like half a banana or something like that, just to get a little bit of carbs in my stomach. But with like lifting heavy, I'm normally doing around an hour session, and I for a while was doing it fasted and it was okay, but on my like really heavy compound lifts where I was really pushing myself, think deadlift, squat, stuff like that, I found in between sets I was getting like lightheaded, and this was with me like fueling properly throughout the day. Other than that, like it wasn't like I was under eating, but I was really pushing myself and I was fasted because it was like 7 a.m. I hadn't had breakfast yet. And I just felt like it was holding me back because I would then on my days off go have like the same workout, but it was at like 10 a.m. after I had breakfast at like 8 a.m. And I felt like I was able to push so much more. So I started doing pre-workout nutrition with like a little bar, something with carbs, protein, and fat in it, and specifically focusing on getting some carbs in it. Something I've been loving, not sponsored, obviously. They would like, this company would never sponsor me, but I mean, never say never. Hopefully, that'd be freaking awesome. But Cliff Bars, I always thought of these as like super high carb and blah, blah, blah. But like, that's good for a lift. You want the carbs. So these are great for me. I really like them. They're delicious and just the right size that it doesn't feel like there's like something in my stomach, but enough that I feel fueled. Also, part of pre-workout nutrition for me is caffeine, usually black coffee, or sometimes it'll be an energy drink. Disclaimer again, with the caffeine, don't go overboard. The safe recommended limit is 400 milligrams a day. Most energy drinks are like 200, so that's already half of that. So be mindful of that because you might joke and be like, oh, haha, I'm so cracked out, blah, blah, blah. But like, that's not good for your organs. Like, please do not overdo it on caffeine. But mindfully, I do like to have a little Celsius sometimes with my workout. I really do like the type of energy that it provides. Coffee, obviously, I'm a big coffee buff. Finding what works for you, what makes your body feel best. Again, just like we talked about in the first thing, that might change over time, but finding what that is important. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Maybe I said something that you've heard before and just needed to hear again. Maybe I said something that you've never heard, and hopefully you can implement it, because I genuinely, my hope with this video is that it saves you the time that I wish I could have saved myself. And yeah, I know I rambled a little bit in some parts, but it's a little chat, it's a little FaceTime. Give this video a like if this is something you're into, the nutrition, lifestyle, workout content, that is my thing. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.